everyone, here's our second episode of Fourwards at Home with Stacey Ward. We are going to be cooking a mushroom and chicken gnocchi bake today. This dish is really quick, it's really easy. I'm using a little bit of a cheat because life's been so busy recently and you have all asked for something that's extra quick to cook at home for the family. So we're cheating a bit, but we're still gonna make it really tasty. I'll be honest, here's the cheat. So, good old Aldi again, we've got a wild mushroom and garlic pre-made sauce. Don't hate on me for using a pre-made sauce. Look, the base ingredients of this anyway are just going to be a basic white sauce with some mushrooms in. So we're going to use this as our base, and then we're going to put some ingredients in to elevate that up as well. Also, I'm going to be using some good old, this is M&S olive oil because it's absolutely fantastic. Nothing wrong with the Aldi one, just this is just really nice. And it's also good for bread. So this is a good dipper as well as a cooker. And I have some leftover chicken. So again, we had a roast chicken dinner on Sunday. So I've picked the carcass down. So this is just our leftover chicken bits. Saves it going in the bin, saves it going to waste, and we're going to use it to make our bake. Right, so first thing we need to do is heat up our pan. And in here, I have got some portobello mushrooms, got a good old white onion. This is called a hen of the wood mushroom. You can see it on here, hen of the wood mushroom. This is a really top mushroom. Almost has a consistency of meat when it's cooked, and it smells fantastic. This is a bit of a luxury item. Don't tell Adam, but I did steal this from work. This is just really good. It's my favorite mushroom. It's great to cook with. The kids love it, and it's just super tasty. So first thing we need to slice our onion. So probably I've had a sharp knife, so I need Mr. Adam to come in with his super duper sharpener. So for this, I'm just going to roughly slice this. Again, doesn't need to be anything particular. If you like a chunkier onion, do it chunkier. If you like it thinner, do it thinner. Personal preference depending on what you want. I am also using a paring knife for this because I just think it's just easier to use. A really bad job of it as well. It really needs sharpening. It's so blunt. It's so blunt. Right, so roughly sliced. You could dice it, you could do what you want with it. It doesn't really matter. Right, so into our warm pan. This isn't scorching hot. This isn't going to fry up. This is just sweating. So it's the same method that we used when we did our spag bowl video. So we want the heat warm, but we don't want it to make the onion golden. We just want it to just cook down nice and slow. So there's a slight... That's good. That's what we want. This is Tilly's Le Creuset spatula. So we're just going to nab this. Right, so we're just going to put that in there, let that do its thing. Then the mushrooms. Now these hen of the woods, I mean, they will break away if you're rough with them. I'm just going to slice them just like this. So that's that. You can use any mushrooms for this. You can use button mushrooms, shiitake, mixed mushrooms. A lot of the supermarkets now are doing sort of mixed mushrooms in bags. They're a good one to do. I'm going to slice one like that, and then I'm going to cut this one so we've got different textures. I think sometimes when you do these kind of dishes, if everything's the same, it all tastes the same. And mushrooms will behave differently depending on how you cut them as well. So, like, for example, this is going to cook different to this. Like, this will go softer and this one will still have a bit of a bite, which when you put everything together will make it taste different in your mouth. Right. Right, I'm going to put a lid on that for now to sweat that down a bit. I'm going to pop the water on as well because we need that to be getting nice and warm. Trusty favourites, kitchen cupboard staples. They'll be going in a moment. I bought this the other day. Smoked salt from Aldi. Absolutely love smoked anything. I think it's great. This tastes a bit chemically smoked, actually. It tastes a bit fake smoked, but I like this. Adam doesn't like this, but I do. So we'll just sneak a bit in. You won't know. So when you do this with the onions and you sweat them down, they almost go sweet. At this point, if you add too much salt or you add the salt in, it's going to withdraw the moisture from the onions. So I'm going to give it a minute before I put that in. I'm going to put some garlic in. Again, if you really wanted to, you could use fresh garlic. There's no difference really, apart from, I think fresh garlic sometimes tastes a little bit spicy. That's a bit sour because it's so fresh. Whereas the garlic granules are just, they're consistent, you know what they are. And they don't go off really quick either. You can keep them in your cupboard and just use them all year round. At this point, I'm going to add the salt because basically the water's starting to evaporate from the onions. Look, they are starting to colour just a little bit, which is where they need to be. So I'm going to add a good bit of this salt in, and then I'm going to turn this down, not up. So I turn that right down now on low. So that's just going to sit there and do its thing for a minute. Gnocchi. I think we don't use gnocchi enough, actually. This is obviously not cooked yet, so it's quite flat. Gnocchi is a potato dumpling. Obviously, it's Italian. It's a good alternative to pasta. I feel like people get so bored of pasta and it's so repetitive that it's just a bit, it's just pasta. You can use gnocchi in exactly the same sense as pasta. So if you make a tomato sauce, you can put your gnocchi through it. If you make a carbonara sauce, you can put gnocchi through it. If you make a ragu, gnocchi is great for it. As I say, we're about to make a bake, which you could use pasta for, so you do a pasta bake. This is going to be a gnocchi bake. I think it's massively underrated. It's really cheap. This one pack here costs, what, 99p, and that will more than feed the four of us quite heavily. You don't necessarily need another carb with it because it is quite filling, but I like a bit of garlic bread, so we're having a bit of garlic bread. So into our pan, we're going to put our mushrooms, just all going at the same time. And again, what's going to happen when we put the mushrooms in, mushrooms have quite high water density. So as soon as we put the mushrooms in, put the lid back on, and that's going to seal in the water, and then they'll stew. These will stew now, so we can leave them be. Get our lovely chicken. This was just a normal bog standard size chicken, nothing free range, organic. It was just good old chicken. Fed 5 of us on Sunday, 5 hefty people on Sunday, and I've still got all of this left. So when I say that you can be savvy with your meals, you really can be, because I've literally just picked this all off the carcass. I've taken all the bits off, all underneath the chicken here. You'll get little pockets of meat that you can pop off. You can use this for soup. You could use this for stock. You could use this for, you make a chicken curry out of this, literally anything. But this will easily do us another meal today, if not 2 maybe. Probably could have pushed this and got like a Caesar salad out of it, and also this bake. So, I mean, you can cut this up however you see fit as well, to be fair. If you like shredded meat, then shred it up. When, as a family, we're not a fan of a shredded meat, so I'll just dice it up rather than pulling it apart. So you could just do this. So, gnocchi into salty water. I've already put some salt in here, so it's nice and seasoned. So the gnocchi's going to go in here. Ooh. And these will take probably about 2 minutes to cook. I'm not going to cook them too much because, as I say, they're going into a bake, so it's going to be double cooked. So I don't want to overcook them in the pan, because otherwise they're just going to turn to potato soup. But I just want them to cook enough so they break down, so that we can put them into the dish. Chicken. So we have our pulled chicken now. That's going to go into here. Again, we're just going to leave the lid on it now. And all that's going to happen is the lovely juice out of the mushrooms is going to go all through the chicken and the onion mix. So we'll give that a minute. So if you overcook gnocchi, it's really not the end of the world. It is a soft potato dumpling anyway. It all depends on your preference. Obviously, it's better when it's just cooked, but if it is a little bit over, I don't think anyone's going to judge you at all. You can do 2 things with gnocchi once it's cooked. You can either Leave it as it is and do it as we're doing it, mixing it with a sauce, or you can fry it. Now, I really like fried gnocchi. If you get your pan nice and hot, almost so it's smoking, chuck your gnocchi in with a bit of oil and a bit of fresh garlic, and some fresh herbs, and you can just eat that as it is, to be honest with you. And fresh fried gnocchi is actually really good. Obviously today as well, I've used the dried variety of gnocchi. There is 2 types, as is pasta. You can use the dried gnocchi or you can use the fresh gnocchi. Again, to be fair, it's horses for courses. There's not much in it price difference, just depends on what you want to use. I always have gnocchi in the cupboard as I do dried pasta, because like on days like today, I'm trying to do a quick meal and it's just easier to have it in, and I know it's not got a short shelf life by being in the fridge. It's in the cupboard, out, job done, easy peasy. So there we have our gnocchi, which, as you can see, is light, fluffy, at this point sticky little dumplings. I remember the first time I tried gnocchi, it was a really good friend of ours and chef, Carl Walsh. He made me a gnocchi dish once, and I just remember it was just absolutely incredible. And that was mushrooms, wild mushrooms and truffle. And whenever I was at work and I'd done a long shift, it always used to make that dish for me, and it was so good. I always think it's funny how food takes you back to certain places where you were when you ate things, you know? Like whether it's your grandma's rice pudding or, I don't know, an ice cream or a pizza or roast dinner or anything, you know? You just have things and you're like, oh, it's so good. I love that. I think that's the best part about food. That's just going to sit there doing pretty much as it is. This is our naughty cheat. It is a specially selected sauce from Aldi. I've had this a few times now, and the only thing I can think to moan about with this, and it's the same with every generic sauce that you ever buy from a supermarket, there's not enough salt and there's no depth. It's just a bit. Another alternative to this, if you didn't want to use this, do exactly what I've just done in here. Use some double cream, or yeah, double cream, let it down a little bit with a bit of chicken stock or a bit of vegetable stock. It's going to do the same job as this. I'm just purely using this because so many people asked, can we use jar sauces? Are jar sauces okay? Well, yeah, they are. They serve a purpose. You know, yes, like for example on here, I'm just looking, trying to see if there's anything on here that's, here we go. Stabilizer, xanthan gum, acidity regulator, modified maize starch. I don't know what they are. That's the only difference. I don't know what's in there. I know exactly what's in there. And if I put double cream in there, then I would know 100% what is in there. This, I'm not too sure on. But again, I know I've waffled a bit today, but this literally could be done, this meal, from start to finish in like 10 minutes in the oven. Go for a quick shower, whatnot, get ready, come sit down and eat your evening meal. We've just done this because Alice is away in the Netherlands. She's on a football trip, so she's not been here all week. Tilly's got a really busy week doing a dance show. She's been dancing all week. We're really stacked at work. Everyone wanted to see a quick jar recipe. Everyone's starving, so it just is a quick, simple... It's just a quick, simple, easy dinner. Our sauce is nice and cooked. The mushrooms are broken down enough to the point that I'm happy with. So now all we need to do is literally mix our gnocchi through here. As I say, you can if you wanted to, and this is really good. I like doing this myself, you know, just like as a little side dish rather than an actual dish. If you get the gnocchi and you fry it off with some, even just some chopped fresh tomatoes, a bit of basil, absolutely fantastic just to have, you know, if you're having a barbecue, just have a nice big bowl of it, dress it with some olive oil, job done. Gnocchi is so underrated, it's unreal. Right, so into our Pyrex dish. Trusty Pyrex dish, can't go wrong with one. Absolutely love them. I think this is like 4th handed down from my nanny, so it's stood the test of time as this dish. Right, so we'll just give it a rough pat down. Doesn't have to be too thorough. Worth pointing out as well, if you are vegetarian, obviously leave the chicken out. The sauce was vegetarian, just yeep up the mushrooms. Right, there we go. I've just put some parmesan and a quick bit of good old trusted dried parsley. I have actually got fresh parsley in the greenhouse, to be fair, but it's not quite mature enough to start cutting off yet, so I'm still onto this. This is going to go straight in the oven, 160 degrees. In all honesty, because this is already hot, I'm going to say it's probably only going to take 10 minutes just to get a nice scab on the top. Not a very good choice of words, I know that, but it is just a good crust. Crust. It's a crust, not a scab. We're going to get a nice crust on top of this. Right, so our gnocchi bake is almost done. It's nice and hot in the oven. We've got our garlic bread out. Also got Chief Taste Tester Tilly in the house to come and help me today. Yeah, I've literally just made a dinner, so...
Yeah, to be fair, for wait.
So Tilly's going to have a tea.
Looks tasty, to be fair. I don't know why I expect.
You get the best dinners all the time. So, here we go. Good old Pyrex, told you I love a Pyrex dish. Pyrex dish in this house.
It's very fit.
They do. Right, so our gnocchi's been in the oven, look. Sauce has reduced a nice little bit. Still nice and creamy, and it's not nice, it's not dry. We don't want a dry sauce. So let's dish this up for you, TT.
I'm just going to burn my mouth off.
Oh, it's big enough, you'll be fine.
Oh, thanks. Give me a softer piece. I need it, don't I?
Please, thank you.
Thanks. Right.
There we go, right.
Specific part you want me to try before?
She's not media trained.
No, I'm not, am I? It's fine. We're all dogging it, that's what we're doing.
Don't say that.
Very good.
See? And this is just a generic family meal that we would make at home, just to have anyway. Clearly that good is burning her to eat, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice and easy, nice and simple. Made from leftovers, made from a convenient sauce, but still hearty, still homemade, and still super tasty. So that is, fills a hole.
Yeah, big one.
That is our chicken, mushroom, and gnocchi bake. Always, you know what I'm going to say. Like and subscribe, hit us up on the YouTube, give our social medias a follow, like us on TikTok. God, it's 2026, I'm a bit of a dinosaur, we're trying really hard. We appreciate your support, it would be really lovely. Thank you so much, and it's the best way to stay informed from us with all the things that we get up to, not just here but at work. Thanks as always, and we'll see you next time.